It's one of the loudest venues in the National Football League. We're inside Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, home of the Chiefs. So good to have you with us. Mike Tirico, Greg Olson. We are about set for kickoff. Greg, talking to the coaches all week. We're so curious to see what's going to play out here at the start of this one.
And ideally, I think each of these teams is thinking, okay, we think this is how the game's going to unfold. This is our plan. This is how we're going to go attack. And if that's the case, great. But very rarely does that happen, Mike. So it's really the team that makes the best adjustments in real time, in between possessions, in between snaps. The team that adjusts the fastest and the most efficiently, they're the ones that come the end of the game, they tend to have the advantage.
The Steeler offense ready to take the field for the first time. They'll be led out by a young man who's making a name for himself, their rookie quarterback.
There's just certain guys, Mike, when they take the field and they step into the huddle, the other 10 players, they just take a little bit of a deeper breath. They're like, man, I'm glad this guy is on our side, and he's certainly one of them. He just brings an element of confidence to everybody else around him, not only in the huddle, but on the sideline, on the defense, the coaching staff. Everyone is better as the result of him being your quarterback. They got there in a hurry, didn't they, Mike? I mean, luckily for him, he saw that free rusher coming, and at the very least was able to get that ball out to prevent the sack.
Willis to throw. Catch made, right side. It's Johnson. And they'll get about 8 out of that one, but still a little work to do now on third down. They'll try to run for it with Robinson. And he's going to have enough for the first down. They'll mark him up at the 39-yard line.
Nothing real fancy about this call here, Mike, right? In this third and short, just get the ball to your running back, make sure he has enough space to pick up the first down, and they're able to convert.
So from the 39, they come up on 1st and 10. Off play action. He'll set up to throw. To the left side, caught by Gronk.
There's no more efficient play in the NFL, Mike, than the play-action passing game, and you can see here why. You make the defense have to honor both the run and the pass, and he's able to pick up a nice gain to his tight end.
To throw is Willis. And that's going to be incomplete. Coverage was good that time. The contact jarring the ball loose and forcing third down. So got it, the tight end comes in motion. Throwing, Willis. Pressure, gets there, and down he goes.
The best thing they did here, Mike, is keep their rush lane integrity. What that means is you have to rush the quarterback as a unit. Keep him in the pocket. Keep him on that X. And when you do, man, he becomes a sitting duck for this pass rush.
Here comes Jackson on the return. And that's a nice job of making things more manageable for this offense as he takes it back beyond the 25-yard line. So out comes the Kansas City offense to take over for the first time. And there is the guy at the top of the game, Patrick Mahomes, their quarterback.
I think we're seeing this so often now in the modern NFL is quarterbacks who can hurt you both improv as a scrambler and also with designed runs coming out of the huddle. So this is a tricky situation. Guys who can run with this kind of speed, you have to be very careful how you pass rush them. You're not just rushing to a spot. It's not just an X behind the center. You got to try to corral him and keep him in the pocket because when he escapes, big plays are to be had.
Oh, big hole left side. And they're not going to run him down. He goes all the way. 71 yards. Touchdown, Kansas City. Well, that's a way to start a drive. He takes it all the way to the house. I don't know what they were talking about on the last series, They've come out on this series, Greg, with the right answer for the touchdown.
And, Mike, the reason a lot of teams start off drives with the run play is to allow themselves to operate ahead of the chains. Well, not this guy. He found the alley, he took it, and he's off to the races for 6.
Throwing from the gun. Here's Patrick. And that is incomplete. See if that comes back to bite them a bit later on in this one. As for now, it remains a 6-0 lead. So the lead stands at 6-0 as this one is kicked off. Here's Lad McConkey to return. And he's brought down right at the 25-yard line. The Steelers offense ready now for their second drive. The deficit, 6 points. A touchdown here would be mighty nice for the offense. See what they can do on this drive. 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Robinson. And he tries to get back to the line of scrimmage, but will not happen here. He's going to lose a yard.
Well, they try to get the run game started here early on this drive, Mike, and they're just going to have to do a better job up front. There's really nowhere for this ball carrier to go. You never want to lose yards on 1st down, but that's exactly the case here.
He keeps it himself.
Well, we've seen time and time again just how dangerous this quarterback can be, Mike, when he decides to tuck it and take off. So that is a great job defensively to rally to the football and hold him to just a short gain.
On 3rd down, they'll set up to throw. He'll get a dozen out of that one, scrambling his way to a 1st down. So a big 3rd down hookup takes us to the break. It's the Chiefs on top. We'll be back in Kansas City after this. So 1st and 10 here now at the 38. Willis now to throw. That's complete to his big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on 1st down.
The drag route, we used to say this is day 1 install. Every single offense in the NFL has this sort of route, especially for the tight end position. And depending on the speed and the run after catch ability of the tight end, sometimes it can lead to some of the biggest gains. Number 1 rule of run blocking for the offensive line is you don't want to allow penetration. It just doesn't give your running back any angles to cut and find the hole. It's exactly how it played out here. They've got to do a better job holding the line of scrimmage and not getting pushed back.
Oh, he coughs up the football. That's picked up by the Chiefs. And there it is. The defense comes up with the big play, forcing the fumble as they get their offense right back on the field. Coming up, Greg, with a big turnover.
Taking the ball away, Mike, has really become an art form in the NFL. Some teams are good at it, some teams not so much. But in this case, great job by the defense taking that one away.
The Chiefs offense ready for their second possession. They've got the lead, and they'll set forth trying to build on it. They're going to do that with excellent field position. Boy, some bulk in the formation on that right side here for 1st and 10. Mahomes back. He's got it at about the 8. And he will score. Travis Kelce. Touchdown, Kansas City.
Just a beautiful ball there by the quarterback. And the point I want to make here, Mike, and make sure the viewer understands is, in the NFL, if you have to wait for a guy to be open and then deliver the ball, it's too late. So often these quarterbacks throw their guy open. They anticipate where the void in the coverage is going to be. That's exactly the reason this play worked out here, Mike, and he's able to connect here for a big touchdown.
Out of the gun, here's Mahomes. And he'll get into the end zone. Doing it on his own. Successful two-point conversion. Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. Here comes a return from the 5. Now an opening past the 30. And they'll be set up well as he is past the 35-yard line. The Steelers offense ready to get back at it. They're staring at a 2-touchdown deficit, 14-0. The score as the offense tries to regroup and get going with 1st and 10. Here's Willis. A throw, left side, taken in by Polk.
Nice job here by the defense. Did a good job just covering up everything for the most part. So once this ball was caught, really didn't have much of a choice but to just head out of bounds and pick up a modest gain.
Here's a 2nd and 6. Willis now to throw. He'll go right back to Polk. Again, it's complete. And he's going to have the first down as he gets out of bounds, and he stopped the clock as well.
One of the easiest ways to negate these really good pass rushes in the NFL, Mike, is just to simply get the ball out of the quarterback's hand as fast as possible. And sometimes it's by design, sometimes it's based on need. But really nice job there by the quarterback, getting into the hands of his receiver and then see what he can do after the catch.
Number 15 gets 15 yards out of that one, and he's got his team a first down.
Rookie to rookie right there, Mike. And I'll tell you what, they've got some really good young pieces on this roster.
Ball rests at the 37. It's 1st and 10. Now Willis. The pressure, too much, and he goes down. Work to do now as they come up on 2nd and long. He bought all the time he could, but he's going to be taken down as he couldn't get a throwaway. And on 3rd down, that ball incomplete.
This offense has to find a way to be better on 1st and 2nd down, Mike. Living in these 3rd and long situations, must pass, is not a recipe that their offensive coordinator wants to operate in.
Here's their punter now. They'll punt for the 2nd time, looking to pin the opponent back deep. And no chance of a run back here. This one's going to sail out of bounds. The Chiefs offense going to take over here in the last minute of this first half. Their lead sits at 14-0 here in this 2nd quarter. Looking to run away with this one before halftime. Unbalanced look here to the right side on 1st and 10. To throw is Mahomes. Escaping the danger, throwing and completing. And they will bring him down on the other side of midfield.
Those are the explosive pass plays that this team is going to continue to mine all day. You can see pre-snap, the quarterback loved his matchup. He allowed his receiver to work downfield. Perfect throw, and now sets them up to try to see if they can finish this drive off with some points.
Now the Chiefs going to call the first of their timeouts. They stop it here with just under 40 seconds until halftime. First and 10. Patrick to throw. Taking off.
Initially, Mike, a really good job by the defense. Nowhere to go with the ball for this quarterback. He's forced to pull it down and turn into a runner. A little slow reaction, and he's able to actually pick up a pretty good game.
They'll break the huddle. It's 2nd and 5. Here's Mahomes. He'll take a deep shot for downs. And he'll take it on in. Touchdown. Touchdown, Chiefs.
Mike, we used to have a saying that it was the responsibility of the receiver to run the route through the eyes of the quarterback. And I think this is a great example here. Two guys clearly on the same page. Quarterback expected his target to be in a certain place at a certain time. He's there, ball's delivered accurately. He's able to pick up the rest with his legs, and that's a big-time connection for the touchdown.
Here's the Chiefs and Mahomes lining up to add on 2 more. He'll drop to throw. And he'll get into the end zone, doing it on his own. Successful 2-point conversion. They didn't leave much time on the clock to put together a drive here at the end of the first half. And the kickoff's coming their way. Here comes a return from the 3. He'll get across the 20, mark him down at the 23-yard line. The Steelers offense going to get it one last time here late in the opening half. They'll try to get this a bit more respectable before the break. It has not been their half to this point. Let's see what they do on this drive. First down now. Throwing, Willis. Now a screen going to be set up for Robinson. And they'll get about half of what they needed. It's a pickup of 5 and sets up 2nd and 5.
You see so many teams wait till 3rd down to execute their screen game, but I like in this case the play caller changes things up. He uses the screen game on 1st down, which will have an effect on this pass rush going forward. How aggressive do they want to get after the quarterback? Because they got that screen play still in the back of their head.
Okay, Mike, thank you. More from you and Greg in a moment, but for now, welcome one and all to our EA Sports Halftime Report. We were treated to an excellent first half from the gunslinger, Patrick Mahomes. He came on after a slow start to fire 2 second-quarter touchdown passes and give his guys the lead at the intermission. This was an extremely one-sided first half. One team showed up, ready to go. The other's been in a daze thus far, but there's still plenty of time left for this one to tighten up significantly.
All right, Coach, second half. Glad to have you back with us here on EA Sports. Very one-sided first half of action. Will we get a turnaround? Let's find out. The 3rd quarter is underway. Oh, he's got room past the 30. And he'll be out of bounds on the return. And the drive will begin there. The Chiefs offense going to have a first crack at it as we begin this third quarter. They've definitely outplayed their opponents to this point in the third quarter. They might be looking to grind out some first downs and chew up some valuable time on the clock. He'll get rid of it and complete it. He's still on his feet, and he will score. Brandon Cooks, touchdown KC. Their head coach, 2 fingers in the air. They'll say no to the extra point and go for 2. That's going to wind up incomplete. They try for 2, and it does not pan out.
All right, so ultimately, it's a successful play. That's a win for the defense. But that was very close, Mike, to being a 4-point swing. So instead of the offense securing 2 points on that try, if he's able to secure that interception and take it the other way, he would have gotten 2 points for the defense.
On the return is McConkey. And he's down at the 23, and that's where the offense will take over. The Steelers offense getting their final instructions before heading back onto the field. And look, they've been out of sorts throughout, Greg. They haven't had any answer for this pass rush all game.
Yeah, and it's really showing up in the sacks and also just in their ability to prevent any yards, any completions. This has just been a dominant pass defense performance here, and everything starts with the rush. The quarterback's uncomfortable. The clock gets sped up. He's got guys in his face. It's a lot easier to play defensive back and in some of these coverage units when you know that ball's got to come out fast. And right now, they're teeing off and taking advantage of it.
They'll try again here. 2nd and 10. To throw, here's Willis.
Well, let's give credit here to the coverage unit, Mike. There was nowhere to go with the ball for that quarterback. He had no choice but to just tuck it down himself, and he's able only to pick up a short gain.
We're going to try to pick this up on 3rd and 8. Willis. That pass pinballing around, and it ends up in the hands of the receiver. Wow. And they are not going to catch up to him. He will score. 74 yards. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. 3rd down. My focus, Greg, was on picking up the 1st down. Forget that. They go down the field and in the end zone for a touchdown.
Yeah, and I don't think it was just your focus, Mike. I think in this case, it was the defense's focus. They're so worried about where that 1st down marker was that they allowed them to get that ball up and over the top for the deep strike touchdown.
Extra point by Little is good. And the Steelers are able to cut into the deficit. The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. This fielded at about the 9. Nice job by the return team as he takes it across the 30-yard line. The Chiefs offense and veteran Brandon Cooks getting set for this next possession. They'll see if they can put something together here, beginning with 1st and 10. They'll start this one with a 3 tight end look. Back to throw here to begin the drive. And that is incomplete. Travis Kelce, the intended target. And it'll lead to a 2nd down.
How often do we see teams kind of nurse these big leads, Mike, especially as the game unfolds? They turn to the ground game. They try to slow everything down. Well, not this offense. They refuse to take their foot off the gas. they're still mining for explosive plays, and frankly, with the way today's gone, I don't blame them.
And they're going to have this all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
Everyone talks about all the physical qualities to play quarterback in the NFL, Mike, and of course that's a given, but it's really the cerebral approach to the game that separates the best from everybody else, and I think both of those things were on display there, as he did not only a great job of finding the vulnerabilities of the back end, but then once his guy was there, it was that arm talent that put the ball in the exact right spot to allow his guy to make the big play.
He'll look to throw. And that one knocked away. It's incomplete.
You know, there's a fine line between trusting your arm and having a little bit too much faith in your arm, right? I think this was one of those situations here, Mike, where there was nowhere to go with the ball. He tries to fit that one in there anyway, and he's lucky that it just falls incomplete.
And that's going to be incomplete. Coverage was good that time. The contact jarring the ball loose and forcing third down. Blitz coming. He'll throw it. And this ball incomplete on third down.
I'm not sure if it's this big lead or if it's just this second half pressure getting to him, but that's just a careless throw by the quarterback. And don't let this lead fool you. Throws like that can change this game in an instant. And this defense knows they gave him one, and they let him off the hook.
And he's very close to a touchdown. They mark him just shy of the goal line.
What a luxury that certain teams, when they have a guy like this, I mean, not only is he the big target, but then to have that size and speed to run away from these linebackers and do so much of his damage after the catch.
From the 1-yard line, first down and goal. Right back to the air for Mahomes. And this throw out of the back of the end zone. It's incomplete. He was looking for Brandon Cooks with that pass. And it'll bring up second and goal. Throwing again, it's Mahomes. And he gets to the outside and takes it in. Patrick Mahomes. Touchdown, Kansas City. The defense comes up with the coverage, but they cannot keep up with the speed as the quarterback scrambles to the end zone for the touchdown.
And down here in the red zone, Mike, is where I think a quarterback's legs can be the most dangerous. The defenders are trying to match backs, match tight ends and receivers, but often it's the quarterback that has no one assigned to him, and in this case, he's able to capitalize and run it in himself.
Here's the Chiefs and Mahomes lining up to add on two more. Now they'll set up to throw. And he will get in for the two. They open up the bag of tricks on the goal line and add a pair of points. Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. On the return is McConkey. And he'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. Here comes the Pittsburgh offense now, heading back onto the field. They are in need of points in a big way as they set out on 1st and 10. The drive will begin here with a run by Robinson. And he'll work forward for about 3. It's second down. Here's a toss left side for Robinson. And he's going to lose yardage here. That's the way they'll switch ends as this third quarter has come to an end. They need 8 as they come up for third down. To throw is Willis. This complete to Polk. A gain there of 11. Good for a Steeler first down.
You know, it's really been a one-sided game, but how often do we see in the fourth quarter the team that finds themselves down by a lot, they start to come alive? I think it's a combination of trying to end the game on a positive note, but also sometimes that defense getting a little lackadaisical.
And they're going to work this down inside the 45.
Every once in a while, it just comes down to you need somebody in the huddle to just make a play, and it wasn't a whole lot fancy here. The quarterback just dumps the ball down, a quick underneath completion, and then really it's the yards after catch that did the rest, and that's what it takes. You're not always going to have the perfect play. You're not always going to dial up the perfect play against the perfect look. Sometimes players need to make plays, and that was a good one there.
So 2 minutes left to play in the second half. We'll come back and finish this one off after this. We'll come to the line now on 2nd and 2. Willis to throw. That's caught over the middle by Johnson. And they bring him down inside the 25-yard line.
These can be tricky situations defensively, right? The game is all but over. Barring something unforeseen, you got this one in the bag, but you still want to finish on a high note. You still want to walk off the field and put an exclamation point on what's pretty much been a dominant performance right from the start.
He was trying to get it to Jalen Polk that time. And that will lead to a second down. Throwing is Willis. To the left side, catch made by McConkey.
Defense does a nice job here initially using zone coverage to take away the middle of the field. That's the most valuable real estate in football. Quarterback gets off his first read, sees some openings to the sideline, and him and his receiver are able to connect.
And this offensive line just has no answers right now. It's another sack.
If they win this game, this pass rush is going to be a big reason why. The 5 sacks speak for itself, but their ability to disrupt the timing of this offense, that can't be overstated.
Let's see what they do here. This is 4th and long. This one incomplete. The defense up to the challenge there. They force the incompletion, and they'll take the ball over on down.
You find yourself down big. It's the fourth quarter. There's really no choice but to go for this at this point. But once again, this defense, they're up to the task, and they come through yet again with a huge stop.
So here's a 1st and 10 now. They'll start from the 24. Play action here. Mahomes. And downfield, it is Downs with the catch. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. You only get a 1-yard buffer from the line of scrimmage for these old linemen. That time he strayed a little too far, and it draws the flag. Mahomes back. He's able to keep his eyes downfield for the completion. And he'll be taken down all the way up past the 45.
Talk about a thing of beauty. Mike, did you see how many tight ends were on the field on that last play? They call it 13 personnel because there's one running back, 3 tight ends, 1 wide receiver. So everybody on defense is thinking run. They catch them off guard a little with the pass, and they take advantage of it with a big gain downfield.
It's a 3 tight end look as they have it 1st and 10. To throw is Mahomes. That's caught downfield. It's Kelsey. And this is going to be a touchdown. They are going to extend the lead here in the final minute of play. Greg, in the end zone again. I'm running out of different ways to say touchdown. They're doing it so often here today.
Mike, some offensive play callers, once they get the lead, it's just milk the clock and let's get out with a win. But not this coach. He is trying to score every single time they possess the ball.
Here's the Chiefs and Mahomes lining up to add on 2 more. Back to throw. And he will get in for the 2. They open up the bag of tricks on the goal line and add a pair of points. So the kickoff team out there one final time in the final minute as they kick it away. This one taken at the 7. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. The visitors' offense ready to get back at it. Things not looking good. But see if they get the turnaround going here. They'll start this drive with 1st down. Here's Willis. To the right side and hauled in by McConkey. Here's 2nd and 6. Willis now to throw. This one on target for Johnson. Well, he's brought down. That pass is going to pick up 4 and bring up 3rd down. So this one in the win column for the Chiefs. They take care of business here at home. It's a game they were expected to win. They had no problems in the end as they cruise to victory. So that'll just about do it for Greg Olson and our entire team. I'm Mike Tirico. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Chiefs victorious as we say so long from Arrowhead.